What's up, guys? It's Will here, back again, and we're here to unbox Hot Toys Cad Bane Deluxe version from the book of Boba Fett. You can see here, this is the box art and the slip cover. Really, really cool. You can see Cad Bane on the side there. A lot of logos, a lot of text on the back. Really, really cool. Typical Hot Toys box with sort of that black color scheme that Star Wars is known for. They are very consistent when it comes to their merchandise. Cad Bane Deluxe version on the back. You can see the cover art there. Really, really cool. I love it. There's the slip cover. Great. Get you excited to unbox the actual figure. Now, to take a look at the actual figure, you can see the contents of the packaging, and of course, Mr. Cad Bane himself. You can see the blue wrinkled skin, those red eyes. Guys, the tubes on the face, this thing is incredible. First impressions, very positive. I've been so excited to get this guy. One of my most anticipated. Easy. You can see some slight speckling, weathering on the top of the cap, I guess, of the head. The headpiece for the black part has like a speckling effect on it with the paint. Pretty cool. So you can see the hat here. It's not a sculpted hat. It's like a material hat. It's actually pretty cool. My brim was a little bit wobbly at first. You kind of had to readjust it a little bit. This is the sand base from Hot Toys. You can see typical, very standard sand base that people have come to not really love as much, honestly. But it's pretty cool. It makes sense for Cad Bane here, so I'm okay with it in this sense. But yeah, there's a flight pole that comes with it, and of course a waist grabber. This does not come with a crotch grabber, and a crotch grabber, a typical one, will not work because I tried and it won't work. These are the rockets for the boots. You can attach them to the boots. I will not be using these, but for some people, I can see if you want Cad Bane in a more dynamic pose, those would be great. This, I believe, is Toto 360. I had to look it up. This came with the deluxe version. This is a Clone Wars accessory from my understanding. I'm not the biggest Clone Wars guy myself. This guy feels very cheap in hand, very cheap, but he looks cool. He has a lot of weathering, detail, accessories. He has a base, as you can see here. It's like a little acrylic base that you can stand him up on. He feels very Target toyish in hand, but he looks really, really good. So you could stand him in a display and he would look the part, no doubt about it. These are actually, I believe, swappable arms. Then you get some little jet effects that you can put on the little Toto 360 if you would like. That is a thing. This is a swappable faceplate for Cad Bane. This is the sort of half grimacing faceplate. The teeth are showing on this one. You just pop it on. There's a magnet in the back. It plops right in. One of my headpieces, magnets came loose, but it plugs right into the face. It works fine. You just got to adjust it. So I'm working with Sideshow on that. This is the open teeth one, sort of angry, more dynamic expression. Magnet again on the back. You can pop it into the faceplate. It works great. Super easy. Antenna that you can put on Cad Bane as well. I believe this goes on his back section, on the sort of the piece on his back in the middle section. This is the fire that actually goes connects to the gauntlet. If you want to have him shooting fire at his enemies, you can do that if you wish. And of course, the blasters / cowboy pistols. They look great. Be careful getting these into the holster. They were a little bit of a challenge. You got to give it a little bit of force, but nothing too pushy, I promise. Be careful. Don't break anything. You can see the hands here. Not a ton of swappable hand options, but enough. A lot of detail on the gloves. The blue paint texture on the skin is really, really cool. So these look great. You can do a lot of things with him. This is a tall, lanky boy with some cool expressions. You can see these are the accessories that actually come with Cad Bane. Of course, the base and the pistols are actually with the figure, just off screen. But you can see here, these are generally the accessories, the flame effects, the rocket effects, the swappable faceplates, the hands, and of course, Toto 360, which does, like I said, it looks cool on the shelf, but when you go ahead and touch it and pose it and articulate it, which you can articulate it, doesn't feel as substantial in hand. I don't even have him standing on the base in this video. However, you can if you want to. That's it, guys. This guy comes with enough. And again, Toto looks cool. There's the 3 swappable faceplates. All are great. I really like the middle sort of stoic one and then the half teeth one. Those are my 2 favorites. The open mouth one, yeah, I'm not as much of a dynamic poser, so that one's not as much for me, but I do like it. Again, this is Toto 360. You can see he does articulate. You can move him around. Those swappable arms, I believe, are in there. I believe those are swappable arms. I'm honestly not sure because I just don't plan on using this guy. But from my understanding, I think that's what they are. There's a little peg on the back there, sort of in the butt section, that you plug the base into, that you can plug Mr. Toto in there if you want. And of course, Cad Bane, here he is in all his glory. Guys, this figure is incredible. I don't mean to oversell this, but this is certainly in the figure of the year conversation. For me, this is right there with that big old red boy Carnage. This Cad Bane is incredible. I think it delivered on every aspect it promised. I've heard some people complain maybe about the weathering or lack thereof. In person, I promise you it's not a problem. Maybe the coat having some sort of wire would be nice. It does not. It lays pretty flat. You can see here the texture on the hands and of course the coat and the fabric and the gauntlet. It all looks great. So much weathering. You can pose him dynamically if you want the open mouth head sculpt. I figured I would show at least one pose with that type of setup. But for me, generally, like I said, I like the other two expressions to give him sort of a dramatic sort of cowboys type pose like this. Something simple, something character pose like museum pose, but look at the detail on this guy. So many cool things. The bandolier, I don't know if it's a bandolier. It's like a waistalier. I don't know what the term is for cowboys, but look at the head sculpt, guys. This thing is incredible. The swappable faceplates are awesome. Again, I had a magnet issue with mine, so I'm working with Sideshow, hopefully for a replacement, but we will see. The head sculpt is fantastic. You can do so much with this guy. A simple pose is totally fine. Be careful with the tubes on the face. They do come out, but I would not recommend pulling them out unless you have to. When you articulate the head, you'll see it moves around a little bit. The tubes will move, maybe even come loose. So just plug them back in and you'll be a-okay. Guys, this guy has so much presence on the shelf. I can't say enough good things about him. He's tall. He's like 14 inches tall, so he's a little bit taller than your typical 12 to 13 inch figure. The sand base is really not a problem for me because I generally have non-dynamic poses anyway. Something simple, something basic. I just like something that looks good on a shelf where it doesn't require too much attention and it looks too busy. I like a little bit of both. I have some dynamic poses, but this boy, I don't really feel like he needs it. But you can see the gauntlet there. Look at the detail in the gauntlet, the gloves, the pistol, the ammo there on the chest or the waist section, and then overall with the coat itself. This thing is beautiful, stunning. There's a subtle amount of weathering, not a ton, but enough to kind of get you by. Again, I like the look sort of with the head tilted down with the cowboy hat, with the brim covering the eyes, because that's kind of how you originally saw him in Book of Boba Fett, and he looked menacing and mysterious, right? That's what I love about Cad Bane. You can see here, this is how he's standing currently in my collection. Of course, I can adjust poses here and there, but my Star Wars collection is, yeah, I'm really excited about it. There's some figures still that need to be placed in that case, but for now, Cad Bane is looking real nice next to Chrome Mando. So I'm absolutely loving this figure. I think it's one of my favorite figures in my collection. I think, as of now, if you were to ask me, I think it's the second best figure of this year. I think it's right there with Carnage, but Carnage is a little bit bigger of a figure, maybe slightly more presence, but Cad Bane is certainly in the running. Guys, do not sleep on this figure. Sideshow is already waitlisted. However, there are places you can go. Try Pop Culture, try other places where you can find this thing. Of course, I would normally recommend Comic Concepts. They have sold out, so I cannot recommend them. So there will be others, I'm sure, that will have this Cad Bane, but he's waitlisted. So if you want him, it's a tough call, but don't FOMO, but he's amazing. I promise you, he's not going to disappoint. So much presence, guys. This is not a figure that I am disappointed with at all. It is stunning, incredible. I love pretty much everything about it. You can do so many good things with it, and it just has so much presence. You don't even need to pose it super crazy, but yeah, doesn't even come with a ton of stuff, but enough. You can put him in a dynamic rocket flying pose if you want. If you want to do a more Clone Wars thing, I get it, especially for those who like the bigger hat look. Maybe there's a customization you can do out there. But for me, this scene from Book of Boba Fett where he faces down Timothy Oliphant's character, I think that just is incredible. So I really love that scene. It's one of the best scenes in Star Wars. So to me, guys, this figure is amazing, and I cannot recommend it enough. Again, don't go out and FOMO it, but I will say for those who diehard Star Wars fans out there, or Star Wars fans who are just looking for something that pops on the shelf, this Cad Bane is incredible. You can see him without the hat here. I don't really see why anyone would really display him without the hat. It's such an integral part of his character, but if you wanted to, that's what it would look like. The hat does kind of press on the head, not super great. It will hold fine. You just got to give it a little bit of pressure and be gentle with it. As for my overall rating, guys, I'm gonna give this boy a 10 out of 10. I see nothing wrong here. I think it's incredible. The presence is amazing. Hot Toys have really outdone themselves with this one. I cannot say enough good things about this figure. To me, it's an absolute grail. It's one that's staying in my collection. I love it. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you picking up Cad Bane? What do you think about the figure, how it turned out? For me, it's amazing. Guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you so much.